So as I've been streaming more and more, I've realized that I need something other than the keyboard to change scenes, certain settings, maybe mute myself, unmute myself. Because I use a KVM switch between my two PCs, I don't always have access to the keyboard on this specific computer. So I needed something that was plugged in all the time. So I thought maybe I could use a numpad or another keyboard. And I was looking at different options. Obviously, there's the Elgato Stream Deck, but that is really expensive. So if you want to do something like the Elgato Stream Deck on the cheap, then you can get something like this, which is a point of sale device. And usually they're sort of mini keyboards, but with some keys that might have transparency and keycaps that you can change. This is a relatively small one. It has a card reader, which I don't need. It has lights, things like caps, numpad, scroll, which you can also change in the software. And it also has a numpad, which I really wanted because, again, like I said, I do a lot of data input for my job. I've added a few little things, copy and paste, some mute, unmute, some various scene pictures, which I've just printed out on paper and cut out and put behind there. But also it came with a bunch of other ones which I'm going to use as scene changes or as effects. But they're just normal buttons, and I might put some stickers on there or something like that. This cost me 15 quid. It was used, but it was basically like new. You can get ones that have a full keyboard layout, including a mouse pad, if that's what you wanted. So you can always be controlling your streaming PC if you have separate PC, gaming PCs and streaming PCs like I do. And what they do is they have the macro buttons across the top. So these are programmable keys. The whole thing is programmable. It's also, you have the ability to take out the keys and move them around. This is just the layout that I chose. And what you do is you assign those keys a macro, which is a combination of keys. And you do that using the software that is available. And I'm going to be going through the software. I might move myself, because I'm doing like file and all that kind of stuff. So you want to go to KVM switch. Move the bookmark bar so you can see it a bit better. Yeah, that works. And I'm going to do a step-by-step and basically be doing it along with you. So if you do buy a PrehKeyTec, this would be a good example of showing you how easy it is to do it. So we go to support. The problem with this, a lot of this stuff is really old. It doesn't need a driver because it's USB, and it has the USB settings within it that allows it to automatically work on Windows. Programming software. WinProgrammer version 2.5 is what we're going to be using, but also in this little section here, you can see, if I zoom, there we go, it's a bit better. You can see it has a manual section. So if we click on the manual section, go on keyboards, and let me, there we go. And quick start WinProgrammer will open a PDF, and this is what we're going to be following along with in order to program the keyboard. So let's download that. Yeah, save it on desktop, that's fine. Zip. I'd like to extract the zip. Do I not have anything on here? I do have 7-zip, yeah. Extract files. Okay. Go. There's a README. Should we read it? It's in English and in German. Okay, uninstall. That's pretty basic. If anything goes wrong, then we'll read it. But let's install it again. This is dated. US English. That's not right. Welcome. Yeah, sure, why not? I agree. Yeah, put it wherever you want. I don't care. Just for me. No one else can use it. Yes, install driver pack as well, just in case. I don't think we're going to be needing it, but you never know. So, again, because it's old, it will go through really quickly. Next. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Open quick start. So, we're just going to open. The manual is included with it. Okay, no thank you. Excellent. So it's opened it in Edge. I don't want to open it. It comes along with it, so that's nice. Yeah, you can kind of read that. Okay. I might move myself again. Right, where have you installed it? There it is. What is the other thing that's installed? Download utility. Click on that. What does that do? Ah, okay, so this is good. So this will download, I think. Yes. So I have already programmed this one. I want to reprogram it because I want to add more functionality to it. I want to add different stuff to the keys. But hopefully this C2K download utility, maybe, will... It's so far away. You going to turn on? That USB doesn't work. It's going to let me download. Why are you not working now? You're working. I know you're... There we go. Right, yeah, all my USB plugs don't work, apparently. Right, so... I don't want to write to it. I want to read from the keyboard. Interface is USB. It's not any of the COM ports or PS2. File name, I'm going to save it in Documents, along with Overwatch, Project Cars, and Shadowrun, apparently. Let's save it to the desktop and save it as... Old. Okay. And read from keyboard. Function is beta release. Key table of the connected PrehKeyTec keyboard will be saved in old. Do you want to use keyboard? Don't choose your keyboard or mouse at upload because that might interfere with it. Continue. Yes. And then we just let it do its thing. Hands are up. No touching. Now, obviously, if this is the first time you plugged it in, you might want to download what's on here to see if someone's already done it, or you might just want to start fresh. Either way, it doesn't really matter. There we go. Exit that. Now, hopefully, if we go to desktop, we can't open that. Why not? MWF, MWX. Why is that different? So I can write it to it, but for some reason it won't let me load it. Well, how annoying is that? Huh. Does it say anything about that in here? Oh, it just says start new, doesn't it? Or isn't this fun? I'm meant to be the one telling you how to do it. And I'm learning along with you. I didn't like that, did it? Okay, well, let's start anew. Let's start anew, shall we? Right, the keyboard type. It says it on the back of the keyboard. Mine is a MCI 84, which is you. Keyboard language. Oh, it lets me choose UK. That's great. Don't know what that does. Just ignore those. Let's get this up just to make sure we're doing it right. Well, that's frustrating, isn't it? That I couldn't download the old thing. I got excited then because I thought it was something new that I didn't know. Yep. Countries. If you intend to use this on... No, we're not doing Java. Not doing the touchpad, so we don't need to do that. Click OK. So this is what it thinks it looks like, which is kind of true. If we took out all the keys and just put in blank ones, that's what it would look like. What you can do is go to, where is it? View, default layout. and it shows you just a normal keyboard. And this will help when we're putting the keyboard together. We can drag and drop. Will help a little bit. It depends how you're doing it. Depends how you want to do it. I'm going to be doing a little bit of the just typing stuff in. But, you know, it's there. So, like it says, you can click and drag across if you want to. What we're going to be doing, because I want to change some things in regards to it interacting with the lights, but we'll do the basics first. So which ones of these do I want? There are, so you can see little points of sale, 1, 2, and 3. Cut, copy, and paste. I have cut, copy, and paste here. Let's do the numpad, because that'd be nice and easy. So I'm looking down at how I've laid out the keyboard so that I can lay it out in this example in the same way. Right, 0 is a double space key, which we may as well go to. So if you click on a key, you can drag them down or across. So if I drag it down like this, drag it across like that, you going to work? No, why aren't you working? Right, let's read, see what it says. No, we don't want to double click stuff yet. We want to make them bigger. Tell me how to make them bigger. Zoom in a little bit on this. There we go, that's better. Yep. Key assignment, always active. Okay, so that's how you put the keys. Drag and drop is indicated. One on control to removing the key you're expecting. Mouse cursor contains plus symbol. Yeah. There are different layers of the keys. This gets a little bit complicated where you can hold down buttons and then click buttons. So you can have like a shift key equivalent. So always active and FN layer, for example. That's how you update them. Right, we'll get past that bit. General notes. Just tell me how to make them big. Changing the key size. There we go. First mark the upper left positioned. Yep. Then drag right and lower. Yep. That's what we were doing. Why weren't you working? Maybe we have to call it something first. Why won't you let me do that? Zoom in. Interesting. To change the key size, first mark the upper left key position. The actual key position is displayed with a grey-blue border. Then drag the right and lower edge of the key size needed. I do not know why this isn't. As you can see, old program is annoying. Who would have thought? Let's save it on desktop as old one. Keep things consistent. I have absolutely no idea why this isn't working. But let's close it and start again. Closing it and restarting it. That helps, apparently. Right. Default layer. Let's try again. Right, so I've got 0. And then I've got a plus sign there. Stick you there. And then I've got enter as the last one. Got the up arrow. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. And obviously, like it said, you can create copies of this, but I'm not too worried about that. So you could have multiple keyboards open, multiple layouts, and create copies of them for different layers. I have used the period there, and then for this one, we're going to do something different. So I want to add in a key assignment. So I want it to be Control Shift and then F. Can do. Don't want different layers. It's all just going to be one layer, keeping it simple. But there are things you can add. There are different key combinations that you can do to get into different troubleshooting modes. Here we go. Using uppercase letters. Okay, don't want to do that. Multi-layer macros, no. Available macros. So these are all the different ones you can actually use. So I want control. Just going to copy and paste them in because I guess you can do that. But control plus. I'll try it a different way. Shift plus F. Not double F, just F. Local key actor is key click, auto repeat, slow output, record keystrokes. The always active layer, click OK. And then if you right click it, you can change the key label. So you can have label, change it to F. Not that you can see it very well, but I'll open it up in a minute. But you can also, so to change key label, you can add work, which I might try and do in a minute. Bitmaps, pretty cool. Okay, so now that this is working, let's try doing what I was doing before and trying to emulate the keyboard that I've got in front of me. Oh, pain. Okay, so that one I got blank at the moment. This one I want to be cut. There. Copy, I want to be there. Paste, I want to be there. Click on them, you can see that it's just the... yeah, should that be in one thing? Yes, it should. So, plus, no, that's not fine. Pretty yes, excellent. Go, and then we can bracket it. Right, and then on these ones, I want to do something similar. So I'm going to Control C that. Click OK. Same. I want it to be A. I've chosen these just because they're less likely to be fat-fingered, aren't they? One, the same. That's D. This one, the same. G. Again, these correlate slightly with what's in front of me and the types of keycaps that I'm using. But in OBS, they all mean different things. So within OBS, you can set up hotkeys. I don't have OBS on this computer, which is a shame, otherwise I'd show you. But when you're doing it, just use the keyboard. You don't have to type all this in again, just use the keyboard. Click the key that you want to use, and it will write it down for you in the macros option. T, W. Now, for these large buttons, which I currently have mute and unmute, set to, I'm going to be using the F keys that aren't on a normal keyboard. So as you can see, you got F through to 12, F1 through to 12, but you can actually just go in and change that. So mute I'm going to have at 13. Again, I'm just see. Actually, I do want to do that, but I want to add some other stuff too. So you can make it so that the LEDs change. So there are LEDs on here. As you can see, numlock is currently, and if I change, oh, I can't, can I? Yeah, I can. If I change numlock, turn off and on. So you can have it just as normal, numlock, caps, scroll, depending on what ones you've got. There's also an accept LED, and I'm going to be using that one because I want it to blink when I'm muted, so that I know that I'm muted. I am muted. Just control accept LED. The other three LEDs will say synchronous to the PC's keyboard status, which is what I want. You need a certain firmware, but yeah, I know it's got it on this one. Again, you can check that in download. So accept blinking red. That's what I want when I go mute. So I'm going to do that and plus LED red blinking. Okay. And for this one, I'm going to do, let's copy it. So I'm just double clicking on the key squares. Why it wasn't working earlier, I have not. That's going to be F14 for unmute. And I want accept LED off. Yes. I guess I could have it green, couldn't I, for live, but I'd rather just presume I'm live. And that'll allow me to see when I'm muted. Sometimes you mute yourself and you forget, or you might do it by accident. There it's going to flash at me. Okay. We've done all these. Now for the slightly longer ones. So I've got 3 rows of 3 for these. And again, all I'm going to do for these ones is set them to the function controls, the F, but above what is normally there. So you have F1 through 12, but a keyboard actually has up to 24, I think. So this one will be 15. I'm going to click on, I should have clicked on 5, shouldn't I? F5. 15. I'll copy that. So this one will be 16. Again, these can be whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Just assigning them because I've already assigned them in. Oh, that wrong. Try that again. First one. Now, like I said, I just printed out some stuff, cut them, put them under the keycaps. But you can, if I remember correctly, add bitmaps. So if you go to change key label, you can bitmap. Might be. No, not in there. Ah, they're not on there. Are they on here? Did I put them on here? No, I don't think I did. But you can assign bitmaps. Just a picture of me. I made some bitmaps in Photoshop and put them on there just so that I could make it easier. And then what you're meant to do is be able to print them out. But it just didn't work. So make your bitmaps the right size. Then just cut them out. Or just do some stickers. Or just write on it with a Sharpie. It doesn't really matter. Right, these ones are a little bit weird because I want to change them to specific things for my data entry software. So, you're going to be W. You're going to be B. Again, this doesn't really make sense unless you're looking at what I'm looking at. But it's just another example of how it can be whatever you want it to be. These aren't macros. These are just key presses that I want them to be. R, C, U to B. Why did C not go? Oh, it did. I put it where E should be. Rid of E. What it matters. E. And well, can I control Z? Can I undo? No. Typical. Yeah, I deleted it by going over it, so just be careful. B, and then I want this one to be T. If I click on that, what comes up? Nothing. Okay, this is basically what I want it to be. So here comes the scary bit where you actually upload it to the program. So I'm going to save it. Saved it as old. And then I'm going to update keyboard. It's USB. Okay. Do not move your mouse during transmission. No mouse movements. No keyboard entry. Up. No touching. That's really hard to do. Just beeped at me. Status is still working. $985 has been sent. And it has been verified. So let's open up Notepad. Where are you? I have not have Notepad on it. Okay, and let's just double check, but it actually. Okay, so it's got the fat fingers thing on it. So if you're not careful, or if you do it too quickly, it beeps at you. I might turn that off because I'm pretty quick. But as you can see, it's working. E is beeping at me. Is that what that key click is? We added key click to some of them, didn't we? What does Control Shift F do? Maybe I shouldn't have changed it to that. Yeah, look, Control Shift A is highlight. That one clicking, and then oh no, there you go. It's flashing off, flashing off. I'm gonna have to change it because I don't want key beeps all the time. So that's what that means. So if we go back in, you double click on it, key click. No thanks. Click. I'm all right. There we go. But it works. So I'm going to go through this, set it up. Hopefully this helped a little bit. I'm not sure if it did because it was kind of a mess. But it is something that I think works really well and is a lot cheaper. Once you can get past the quite crappy software. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, appreciate it. Come check out my Twitch and I'll see you again next time. Bye everyone.